Mic needs to be plugged in. Forgot to do that. Morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. All right. Morning, everyone. Just feeling comfortable today. I love this sweater. It's just so comfortable. Yeah, what happened? Take off? He died? Wow. Oh, that's sad. I didn't know about that. All right. Well, good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Ooh, lemon. Yeah, Quentin. It's the best. All right. So today is the 1st of November. So fresh month. Hope everyone had a good October. I will post my October performance on my website. If you guys are interested, that's where I post it. Probably put it on Instagram as well. It's an all right month. Not my biggest month. A good month on the future side. Options, I did okay. I think it was like $3,000, $3,500 on the option side, around there. I'll post the results there on my website. I always do that just to be as transparent as possible right there on the website. So hope everyone had a good October. It was interesting. It was very choppy. So it was sort of a difficult month to really get much going on the option side and even on the future side. Hopefully better months ahead. October, I really focused on dip buying a lot of my shares. I'm feeling really confident about my long-term portfolio as of late. It's just some of the average costs that I'm seeing in my M1 account are just pretty incredible. Like owning Google like under 100, owning I don't own Amazon, owning Tesla in the low 200s, Nvidia down in the 140s, AMD towards like the 60 level. I'm just very happy about, the dollar cost averaging that I've stuck to this year, no matter how aggressive the downside has been, and obviously the red performance that I've had this year in my long term. I really don't think about it one bit. What I really focus on is some of those average costs that I'm seeing on some really good stocks. So I'm excited about that. We'll see how that pays off for me in the long term, but it's looking good. And then Netflix, I'm now green on. I am now green on Netflix shares in my long-term portfolio, which is pretty awesome. I think my average on Netflix is around 250. So, hey, if I could have these averages, at 27 years old and look forward to the next, 30 years of having these averages, I think I'll be all right. So that's been my real focus this last few months. After seeing some of the extreme lows that we're seeing, I've been just consistently purchasing shares, and hoping that the same thing happens that's always happened in the history of the stock market, is that we bounce out of these extreme lows. So we'll see what happens. Hope everyone is having a good morning again, and also taking advantage of some of the downside that we're seeing, similar to what I'm doing. So I still have Upstart Chef. I haven't really been adding to Upstart Chef. I've been focusing on the quality names. I sort of stayed away from some of those speculative names like Upstart, and just sort of bringing down my average on some high quality tech. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome again to the stream, guys. Welcome to another day here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the streams in general. Also, real quick, we did announce the giveaway winner. So Diddy Up, I don't know if you're on the stream today. You are a member of the stream, I know that, and you do come to the stream, so I'm happy about that. But Diddy Up was the winner, so congratulations to him. And also stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be giving away more stuff from MSI as the year ends, because they send me a lot of stuff. Shout out to MSI, and it's stuff that I just can't use. It's too much, so I want to give it away. So let's get started. Futures, economic earnings calendar. Big on that side, right? Big on the economic, big on the earnings calendar. So let's go ahead and pull those up real quick. Earnings calendar this morning. We had SoFi, Uber, and Pfizer. Those were the big ones. So right here, guys. SoFi, Uber, Pfizer. Some big ones this morning. You guys can see right here. Let me go ahead and scroll down for us. So SoFi, Uber, Pfizer, those were the big ones this morning. BP Marathon as well for the oil sector. AMD, Airbnb, right? Those are big ones as well. You guys can see AMD right here. And then Airbnb as well. So AMD, that's tonight. That's going to be big. That's going to be big for the semiconductors. And that's Airbnb. That's going to be big for, sort of travel and, Airbnb as a whole, of course. So interesting to see. I think Airbnb is a good read on the travel sector. It always has been. I think a lot of investors watch how Airbnb performs to get a feel for how's the travel looking, what's the rate of travel, how willing are people to travel and to, rent places. So Airbnb is a good read there, and I would definitely watch for that. Yeah, Malata, that's the classic short-term argument that I don't care about one bit, right? I don't care about the negative earnings that everyone is, gonna complain about and tell themselves that buying Nvidia down 60% is not a good idea. So I don't care about that one bit. I'm not investing for the next 2 years. It's not. If you're investing for the next 2 years, you're not investing. You're trading still. You don't have the mindset that you need to be successful in the long term, right? The people that are successful in the long term in the stock market that are now 60 years old and sitting in multi-million-dollar portfolios that bought Apple at $5, that own Tesla at $5, whatever you want to say, those people believed in delayed gratification, believed in the long-term plan, believed in dollar cost averaging, believed in setting themselves up for the future, right? It's a totally different story. If you don't have the mindset, you don't have the mindset. So it's just not the same. So we'll continue here. Wednesday, CVS, Generac, Roku, Qualcomm. Not really interested in much of those. Qualcomm could be interesting for the chip stocks as well, the semiconductors. Robinhood, Etsy, nothing crazy there. Thursday, some pretty interesting ones on Thursday, right? PayPal, Coinbase, Block, Twilio, Carvana, Starbucks. Those are some big ones. All right, those are some big ones. And then Fubo, DraftKings on Friday as well. So there's your earnings. We got some interesting ones coming out, but I'm going to believe that these earnings Wednesday and then into Thursday are probably muted by, or I think the most important this week is going to be that economic calendar, the FOMC. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. Economic calendar. Here we go. All right. So here is today. Today's Tuesday. All right. You have the PMI, manufacturing PMI today at 9:45. I think this is important. So let's watch out for that. That's at 15 minutes after open. Go ahead and watch that. ISM manufacturing index, job openings, job quits, construction spending at 10 a.m., right? So watch out for all those names, guys. Watch out for 9:45, 10 a.m., all this news here on the economic side. Make sure you're aware of this as the day proceeds. Wednesday, that's tomorrow. This is the big one, right? FOMC and Fed Chair Jerome Powell at 2:30, right? FOMC, Fed Chair Jerome Powell, 2 p.m. and 2:30. All right, watch out for that. Okay? How many times do you think someone said that, Malata, in the past? How many times do you think in the past that someone has said times are changing, world's changing, everything's different now? How many times do you think they've said that over the last 30 years? And guess who's winning over the last 30 years? People that just bought stocks. So FOMC announcement, Fed Chair Jerome Powell at 2 and 2:30 on Wednesday. Thursday, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, right? Those are big. Let's watch out for that. ISM Services Index, factory orders. I think this day will probably be muted by this on Wednesday, right? I don't think that if we get a move here on Wednesday, that it will be changed. I don't think the outcome will change because of anything here on Thursday and probably potentially Friday, right? Watch for Friday. You guys can see non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, and labor force participation. So this is interesting because the jobs data is definitely very important for the Federal Reserve, right? They are definitely focusing on non-farm payrolls, unemployment rates, average hourly earnings, right? These are definitely very important because this is what the Federal Reserve is focused on primarily for their decisions, that employment. So, it's going to be an interesting end of the week. We'll see what the move is here on Wednesday. Please check your DM on. Okay, Yank, I'll check it out. I'll make sure to check it out. All right. So FOMC Thursday, Friday, big jobs data. Just make sure you're aware of this stuff, guys, all right, as you come into the day. All right, let's continue. Apple, beautiful retest hold. We talked about this one yesterday. This was a really clean hold on Apple. I want to go ahead and show it to you guys today. We'll keep an eye on that. Tesla, 230, right? Let's keep an eye on Tesla above 230. It broke out of the channel at 230. This was a big supply that it broke above. Let's see if it holds it today. Nvidia came back down to that 134 level we talked about yesterday in the stream. Held it beautifully. Let's watch that. AMD holding 60. Let's watch out for this 60 hold and then that upside rejection point at 63. Amazon holding 101.50. That's that 4-hour demand from earlier in May and June that we talked about yesterday. It held that very nicely as well. Shopify. Shopify has been a very strong outperformer lately, and I've been enjoying that very, very nicely. But we'll see how long can Shopify continue higher? How long can it outperform? We'll go ahead and take a look at that. And then Netflix at a very key 290 level that I want to point out to you guys today. So some pretty clean retests yesterday. We talked about pretty much every single one of these retests yesterday, and they worked out very, very nicely. So let's go ahead and review those. Let's get an idea of these setups that are forming and try to do our best to prepare for today's price action. Again, I want to reiterate this before we start. Monday and Tuesday before FOMC is typically very choppy, right? You guys saw that yesterday. So we saw this complete chop fest yesterday, intraday on the market. This is very typical before FOMC, right? I would expect to see something like that again today. I would not expect extremely clean price action. I would expect a little bit of choppiness, right? This is definitely very common before FOMC. So please be aware of that. Please protect yourself. I want to say that. Second thing I want to note is that everything we talk about in today, right, is everything we talk about technically on the technical side of things today, the expiration date will be by 2 o'clock tomorrow, right? Everything that I speak about today does not hold up after 2 o'clock tomorrow. You have to understand that as a trader. You cannot say, I like Apple off this level and I'm going to hold it through FOMC because that's the technical level. That is not how it works, right? FOMC will invalidate technical analysis. Large economic data does not care about our levels here on the chart. Without large economic data, levels can be respected, right? Intraday price action can respect it. But large economic data like FOMC does not respect technical levels. So please understand that. All right. You do not swing trade Apple. You do not swing trade Nvidia. You do not swing trade Tesla through FOMC because it's holding a technical level, right? That is not a valid reason to hold these positions through economic data like FOMC. Another reminder just to make sure everyone's aware of that. All right. Let's do it. So 4-hour chart yesterday, we talked about this 11.4 level, right? We talked about, okay, there's a previous high at this 11.4 on the NASDAQ. Let's see if we come back down and hold it. And we did exactly that yesterday. So let me go ahead and take this off here. There we go. So what did we hold yesterday on the NASDAQ? It was perfect at this 11.4. You guys can see if I zoom in here on the short term, the 1-hour chart. Downtrend. Yeah, I'll take a look at that downtrend there. I saw you post that in the Discord, Mr. Gold. So here we go, guys, right? See this previous rejection point? See this previous consolidation hold? Look at where we held yesterday, right there at 11.4. So that's your level to watch today. 11.4, very clean hold. We pulled back into it yesterday, held it strong, and sort of just grinded higher off of it. So this 11.4 is a nice retest level to be aware of, right? That is definitely something to be watching today. Do we get another push into the supply high? That's up at around 11.7. If we do get a push into supply, right, just be cautious because just think about it logically, right? Do we really expect the market to make a major breakout? This would be a major breakout on the market. Do we expect the market to make a major breakout move before FOMC? My opinion on that would be no. I don't expect the market to make any drastic moves to the upside or downside before FOMC. So do I expect the NASDAQ to really break the supply and really push today? That would be something I'd be very surprised to see. I would not expect that. So if we do get a push, maybe there's a little bit of meat on the bones up towards 11.7, but I would be very cautious of buying calls up here around 11.7. This could definitely be a rejection point today if we see a move up into this level. I do not expect us to make a drastic move to the upside before FOMC is announced. That would be very interesting. I guess that's the word I would use, interesting. I would not expect it. So you can see the rejection here. You can see the rejection here. And you could see if we move back up into 11.7, there could be another rejection at that level. So please be careful up there. You can see this was a nice hold of 11.4, nice intraday potential buy. If maybe you tried to take some longs off this 11.4 demand hold, you should be up nicely this pre-market. But yesterday was too choppy to have real confidence on swing trades. So if you did catch it, just, you can say that you got a nice move, but just understand that yesterday's price action was just not really convincing to either direction. So just be cautious of that. So pretty choppy here yesterday. Held at 11.4 demand. If you lose this 11.4, here, right? If we come back down and lose this 11.4, then I would expect a move towards 11,000. So this 11.4 is sort of like I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before. This is sort of the middle of the seesaw this week. So here's your seesaw, right? This is your seesaw. How's a seesaw work? It sort of looks like this, right? Is this a seesaw? I guess it's sort of straight seesaw. Anyways, here's your pendulum right in the middle. So there's your middle. That's your median. That's right in the middle of this range. That's sort of like the deciding factor. That's the deciding hold level, 11.4. What side of 11.4 do you trade off of? That's what we're looking at. As of right now, you can see we're on the upside of 11.4, so that momentum is potentially bullish. If you come back down to the downside of 11.4, then you probably lose momentum and look for the downside. So have 11.4 on your screen. That's definitely a big area here. It's really like 11.380, but I would just sort of make it a range there. And then I would watch the channel high at 11.7 and the channel low at 11.1. All right? That's the NASDAQ. You also have that 50 SMA above here around 11.7 as well, which is also a tough level. Yeah, good reminder, King, on the solar sector. I want to go ahead and look at that because solar had a crazy day yesterday. All right, ES, sick retest. And if you guys are in the Discord or even if you came here to the live stream, we talked about this. We talked about the pullback to 38.70. This was a perfect pullback to 38.70 yesterday. Let me go ahead and pull this up on the 30-minute. And I'm going to go ahead and get this scaled correctly for us here. I'm also going to pop up all right, this is where I post. This is actually the chart Discord, right? You guys, if you guys are part of the chart Discord, this is free. What is this? Delete that. This is the free Discord that you guys can join for the futures analysis, right? And this is sort of what we talked about yesterday. So I said to remain bullish, you want to see the ES hold this previous high at 38.70. Right, where we broke out on Friday. If we turn that level into support, there could be a retest long off that level, right? That was the 38.70 level, and this was the chart that we posted. So you guys can always get that future analysis that we talk about here on the stream in a text format there in that Discord if you want, completely free. And that 38.70 level held up perfectly. So you guys can see we pulled back to that 38.70 intraday. This was your previous high from last week. This was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, previous high. You pulled back. You held it beautifully. What is that? That is a break and retest. Break, retest, hold of that retest level, and you continue long off of it. So this was just a really clean technical setup on the ES. Very nice, very nice long entry off that retest high, right? Previous high, break it, pull back to it. This happens everywhere on the market, guys. I'm telling you. This is like the one technical formation that you need to be looking for on this market. Break and retest happens everywhere. It's like a fundamental part of the market. It's just fundamental. It has to happen. You have an explosion to the upside. You have a pullback. And you have buyers that are just waiting for that pullback level, and they're waiting to get a better entry at the retest. And you can see it. It happens so much. So very nice there on the ES. The next level that I would be watching here on the ES is this 39.40 level. 39.40 is at this previous high, this previous low. It's this little rejection point right here. So I'm watching that 39.40 here on the ES right there. That would be my next rejection point, 39.40. And then above that, I'm watching this little channel high around 39.80. So 39.40, 39.80 to the upside. Those are my rejection points. And then on the downside, just watching these retest levels. So obviously, if we break this retest, right, if we come back down, we lose this, you guys know what's going to happen. The momentum will be lost, right? You have to, as you make these higher lows and higher highs, which we have been doing, right, you can see here's your previous high. That turned into support. Here's your previous high. That turned into support. So you're making stair steps, right? You're making higher highs and higher lows. Once that trend breaks, then you lose your momentum. So I would say that trend breaks if you come back down and break this 38.70. Right? So watch out for that. So 38.70, 39.40, 39.80. Those are the levels I'm watching today on the ES. Dow Jones, that's perfect. I didn't even realize that yesterday. I don't watch the Dow, but I know we talked about this. If you're in the live stream consistently, you should remember. We talked about the previous high right here from, this was CPI, right? This was your CPI move. This was FOMC on the 21st. This was your CPI move. I'm sure you guys remember that if you were here yesterday. We were talking about how the Dow dropped off this CPI move right around that 32,800. And we said if we pull back to that, if you pulled back to that level at that 32.8, right? If you pulled back after breaking out and you held it, that is very bullish. So look at this. Look how nice that was. That's crazy. I didn't even realize this. Look how strong the Dow held that 32.8 area. Just all day. 32.7 just held it. Every time we even tried to bounce below it, we held it very strong. And you can see the continuation. So really nice retest on the Dow. The Dow is continuing to outperform. Crazy. The Dow is continuing to be the beast of this market right now. So let's see how long that lasts. But very nice retest there on the Dow. Watch that 32.8 level moving forward. Russell, absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. We talked about this 1840 level. Everything just worked out beautifully yesterday. I mean, look at this. The break and retest yesterday on the futures was just sexy. That's really all I could say. Look at that. Rejection, break, right? Break, retest, perfect hold at the retest, and then look at the continuation off of it. So all I could say, guys, is watch the retest levels. Those are your new levels that must hold. If you wanted this market to continue bullish, you need to have like that trailing stop on your levels. Now my new level on the Russell is 1840, right? If we lose this level, we lose momentum. That was a perfect retest. My new level on the Dow is 32.8. If we lose that level, we lose momentum. NASDAQ, new level, 11.4. If we lose 11.4, we lose momentum. ES, new level, 38.70. If we lose this retest level, we lose momentum. So as we push higher, as we potentially make new lows, these higher lows, watch these retest levels. It will be very obvious. No one should be surprised if this market flips if we start to lose these levels. If we lose 38.7, right, then we know that we're going to lose momentum. We should not be stuck in any type of upside trade if we're going to lose this level. So just keep an eye on these levels. They paint the picture for you. You just have to be focused. You have to really pay attention to these futures charts. That's really all you have to do. And I don't want to say it's easy, but it's understandable if you're paying attention to these futures levels. All right. Let's continue. Apple, sexy. That's all I could say about Apple as well. Look at this retest. Right. You guys can see we had a big breakout on Friday of last week. I said look for the pullback to 152, the previous highs. That's exactly what we got. So I'm going to go to the technicals. This is also in that Discord. Unfortunately, this is a little bit of an upcharge to get technicals on individual stocks. So here it was. Looking for pullbacks on Apple to 152. Big supply above at 158. If we hold this 152, I would look to see if there's a demand hold for a long entry. Here was the chart, right? This is what we looked at yesterday in the pre-market. Pull back to that 152. Create a bullish retest. See if there's a long entry off that 152 level, right? That's what we were sort of talking about yesterday. in the live stream here. And you guys can see a very nice 152 retest. So you pulled back, you held the 152, really clean, right? This previous high, very nice retest. And you can see we're getting a little bit of upside off of it. Now, this is a little bit difficult, right? Because if you didn't already catch this, this is a little bit difficult because you're sort of right in between this channel. So maybe there's some upside continuation today, maybe. But just please be aware of this major supply above, right? 158, you got the 200 SMA, you got the 158 level. This is definitely going to be a tough level to get above. So just be careful up here. Maybe there's a little bit of movement here, back up into that 158 supply, but please be cautious up at this level. The ideal entry would be another pullback to 152 and another nice demand hold potentially at 152. So I would watch 152, guys, and I would watch 158 on Apple. All right. But a really nice retest there. All right. Tesla. You want to look at silver, Rob? I'll try to remember. Tesla, 30-minute chart. So Tesla went ahead and broke the 230 channel. So we can see right here, guys, this morning, Tesla went ahead. Hold on. Let me see here. Are we creating an uptrending channel? Yeah, we are. Look at that. Okay. So some pretty nice little... So we're starting to form somewhat of an uptrend here on Tesla. You can see we created, I would say we solidified a higher low here in the short term, right? We had a low here. We had a higher low form here. The reason I say that is because look at those wicks at 218. Very strong wicks to the upside. So I would say that we are slightly creating a higher low here in the short term on Tesla, also within this channel. So you can see that. Now you can see that we went ahead and broke over this 230. This was a big supply level on Tesla. Very clean, right? You can see right here, rejection, rejection, rejection. All right, 230, very clean rejections. This morning in the pre-market, pop, right? We popped above it. So what are you looking for now? To me, right, for me to go ahead and play this on Tesla, this is what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for a pullback to 230. I'm looking for demand to step in. I'm looking for some of those bullish candles to start to show me some upside, and then I'm looking to maybe take a long entry into 235. All right, that's what I want to see. I want to see a pullback to 230. All right, I want to see that retest hold. All right, Will, thanks, man. I want to see a retest hold at 230, and I want to see that turn into a demand level, right? So I want to watch out for that. So watch out for that 230 hold today on Tesla. That's something that I would definitely be watching today after that strong breakout. On Tesla through 230. I don't want to say strong, but the breakout through 230. Look for the retest today over that supply high. All right. Nvidia. So Nvidia, the 134 level was big, right? 134 level was very big. That was our supply level that we continued to reject. So you can see previous support, previous rejection, and you guys can see that we're sort of holding here. I'll draw another channel for Will. You can see that we're sort of holding that low and holding that high, right? You can see that that's your channel. You can see that we are having the higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. This is a channel tool, right? So I'm just using the channel tool as TOS has it installed. And I'm just going to assume that that would be a channel. So you guys can see that we are making those higher highs, higher lows in this Nvidia channel. We're starting to see some upside continuation. And we're also seeing a little bit of a retest here at 134. So you guys can see right here, previous rejection. It's trying to turn into support. Yesterday, if you guys look at what Nvidia did yesterday, you guys can see we pulled back to 134. You can see 134 pullback, 134. We held it and we pushed off of it, right? We pulled back to that 134, turned it into support. We held it, and we're starting to push off of it here in the pre-market. So watch out for that. All right. So pullback 134, held it nicely, nice retest level, and that's what I would be watching today. Okay, that's what I would be watching today. Look for Nvidia to continue to hold that retest level. Right, very nice. Okay, very nice. Yeah, I just don't want to deal with it, guys. It's just not worth my time, to be quite honest with you. It's just, I'm at the point where, I don't need to deal with that. So nice upside, 134 retest, very strong. Yeah, ATEC, did you hold it? Did you hold it, ATEC? You held that swing trade we talked about? I sort of wish I was in with you. I sort of wish I was in with you there. Zat. Yeah, that was clean, ATEC. Well done on that, man. I like that entry you took. So, yeah, nice little retest action. So, yeah, Nvidia, watch for that today. Watch that 134. Congrats, ATEC, if you're still in it. AMD, nice job, man. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's set up beautifully. All right, AMD. AMD's been a little bit of an underperformer, but I'm liking it, right? I'm liking it on AMD because I want to continue to buy shares. That's why I'm liking it. I want to continue to buy these shares down here. A little bit of underperformance. I'm not going to buy any more shares before earnings, but I'll see how earnings plays out and then sort of get a feel for it. But our AMD is still very much stuck here under that 63. Right, you can see previous support into rejections at 63. I think it's underperforming because of the earnings that are coming out, right? I don't think investors are taking a strong stance to either direction. So a little bit of consolidation here before earnings tonight after hours. Here's what you have to watch today, guys, right? Either the push over 63 or the fail under 56. The expected move on AMD is 4.1, so that is like 7%-ish. So 4.1 either takes you to like 65 or it takes you down to either takes you down to the channel low. So 4.1 expected move, that will change as the day proceeds, the expected move on the earnings. But I do I do want to see how this reacts in this channel. This should be interesting, right? You have the previous supply here, or you have the previous demand at this level that is turning into a little bit of a rejection. And then you have that strong demand down below around 56. Let's see which way this breaks out of the channel and continues. That'll be a nice trade once it does. Okay, Amazon. So here's something that happened yesterday at Amazon that was pretty damn interesting to me, right? This is pretty damn interesting to me. So you guys can see we had that previous 4-hour low, right? We talked about this in the pre-market live stream. We talked about the previous demand that was back here in May and June. Right, 101.50, right in that level, right? Support. We held it all back here. And look at what it did yesterday. Very interesting. So you can see on the 5-minute chart here, we came back down into that level. We held it very nicely, right? We held on to that 101.50. I think that's a key takeaway from yesterday's price action. I tried to go long off of it. Didn't quite work out for me. It just sort of was weak and sort of slipped under it again, so I just cut it for a small loser. But I tried to get in as close as I could to that 101.50, trying to trust that technical level. I think I got stopped out on one of these little slips underneath. So it did hold it, overall it did hold it very nicely. You can see the consolidation at 101.50, this green zone that I have on my chart, and you can see the continuation off of it. So moving forward, Amazon has to hold that green area. If it loses this green area, right, then you are dropping back below these lows of May and June. So this is a very important level on Amazon. I am, if the market does find upside, if that is the case here, by, let's just say next week, the market has continued to see upside, then, there might be some play off this 101.50. There could be a little bit of a sympathy move with the market off this 101.50. That's definitely something I'm watching. Now, I'll also be very willing to watch this as well. Right? If we see this, I will definitely be looking to play that as well, right? No doubt about that. So watching that as well. All right. Yeah, Meta's just dead, guys. I am a big non-believer in Meta. I don't know about you guys. You guys know I say this almost every stream that I don't buy Meta for my long term. I don't believe in investing in social media companies because I think social media turnover is very high. Like there's always something new that's coming out for social media, and people's attention spans are all over the place, right? One day it's Facebook, next day it's TikTok, the next day it's Instagram again, next day it's Vine, right? Vine, maybe Elon brings Vine back and now it's Vine. So I don't like investing in stuff like Meta, and I'm happy I have not, right? This is something I am very happy I have not been touching. And I also think that Zuckerberg's thing with the whole metaverse is pretty, I don't want to be aggressive about it, but I think it's just not smart. They're spending way too much money. They're burning through all of their cash for something that is so questionable. And you can see that the market is very reluctant to accept Meta here. I mean, it did not even go up yesterday. I mean, it went down yesterday again, right? Look at Meta yesterday. Look at this. This was totally inverse to the market. I mean, the market stayed sort of sideways, right? It was a little bit down, but it was pretty sideways yesterday. And look at Meta yesterday. So I would not be, I think maybe some people are trying to go out and dip buy this stock. I don't think this stock, if you really read into because I actually read into, sort of how that earnings was, they're spending way too much money. And it's very, very dangerous, the amount of money they're spending, I think, for the company. So just be careful. Just be careful. Yeah, it could be, Jerry. I agree, Gary, but you can't really plan on something like that's not a sustainable, right? That's not a sustainable business plan. Let's hope for another lockdown, right? That's not something that I'm going to go ahead and purchase shares off of, something like that. But who knows? Maybe it continues higher, right? Maybe Metaverse works out. Maybe I'm dead wrong. But I think you have time to see how that works, right? I think you have some time. To decide whether that's if Metaverse is good or not. I don't think you need to be in it right now. I think it's a little bit risky. But hey, I know there's some hardcore believers in the Metaverse. I don't want to get into it, guys. I'm sorry if I upset anyone, but that's just my feelings right now, right? That's just my personal opinion. You guys are welcome to have your own there. So Shopify, that's a nice, strong outperformer here in the short term. You guys can see over the last few days, Shopify had a nice earnings push, right? Big push on earnings, nice continuation, and maybe a continuation again. Shopify has held up pretty nicely. Shopify obviously has not gone anywhere this year, right? We've been really consuming at this 30 to 40 level, sort of a consumptionary phase, right? We just sort of sit here. It's a nice push in the short term, right? We'll see if that continues. I would think maybe if the market stays bullish, you could get a channel high test, and maybe you see another rejection at the channel high. That's probably it's probably a potential opportunity if the market stays strong, right? If the market is strong again today, maybe you can see another upside move on Shopify as it's been outperforming. Earnings was pretty solid. And the market is definitely reacting off of it. So I would look to see how this Shopify outperforms. I just wanted to show it to you guys because it's been a very clear outperformer the last 2 days. It's been going up as the market's been going down at some point. So it seems like there's some money flowing into it. So I would just keep an eye on Shopify today. See if there's any continuation there. Watch for that $40 rejection point, though. All right, the last one I got for you, and then we'll go into some of the tickers that you guys want to get into, is Netflix. Netflix, I'm going to go ahead and delete this channel before Will yells at me. No, I'm not. But you guys can see the 1 hour chart. We have this sort of downtrending channel. In my opinion, I think this is a downtrending channel. You guys can see the rejections, the rejections, the rejections, the rejections. You can see the demand hold, the demand hold, the demand hold, the hold, right? So you can see it's respecting this downtrending channel. That's about as clean as a channel as you're going to get on this channel. So if you don't like my channel on this YouTube channel, then you can get off the channel, right? Channel. So very nice channel there on Netflix to the downside. let's see. Does it hold this 290? Right? Does it hold this 290? If Netflix holds this 290, which is a nice little hold here, then I would look to see if there's a continuation. All right, I would look to see if there's a continuation on some type of a squeeze over this downtrend. Right? So if the market's strong today, does Netflix try to get a little bit of upside squeeze here on the break of this downtrend here? So I would watch that. This is an interesting move here on Netflix. Do we see some type of upside continuation? Right? Do we see some upside continuation? Yeah, Walter finally tweeted, right? Let's see. I know Walter Bloomberg is sort of, he's taking a break or something, asking for support, which we should support him. Definitely helps. Where is his Twitter? There it is. Yeah. All right. Anyways, so watch that at 290, guys. Watch that Netflix 290. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and pull up the tickers that you guys want to look at today. If you guys could take just 1 second out of your day, press the like button. That would be much appreciated. I would very much appreciate the support that you guys have given and always do give to the live streams. I appreciate that. So here is the live stream ticker: Target, Enphase, JPM, CVX, XOM, Microsoft, and Silver. I know you guys wanted to look at Silver, right? And then what was the other one? Someone said something else. Who was that earlier that I said remind me? All right, let's continue. I wish I could get to all you guys. I know I'm sorry I can't, but I'll see if I have any time after these. So let's go real quick. 4-hour chart. Solar, that's right. Thank you, JB. Yeah, we'll look at solar with Enphase and FSLR. So Target, yeah, I mean it's in an interesting spot here. It's not really at a spot that I would like to go long or short. All right, I would rather see probably a retest of this 158 to possibly go long here. Right, look for this pullback to 158. That would be my plan. Right, if you see Target back at 158 at this retest level here, right here, then I would look to go long at 158. That would be my plan. Because up here, you're in no man's land right here. All right, this is no man's land. So I would want to see a pullback to 158 there. Enphase. Let's go Enphase and FSLR. Big push on Enphase yesterday over the last few days. And another you're sitting at all-time highs again. So Enphase is a beast. The solar sector is just not stopping. Watch out for the all-time highs. I will say that. Right? You don't want to be the trader that buys at all-time highs and then sees a rejection. So watch out for that all-time high 320 area. The next really good trade is probably going to be either a break and retest of the all-time highs, right? If you can get a break of all-time highs and a retest of it, that would be a good trade. Or the other good trade setup I see here is, let me get some more time here. The other good trade I see here is a retest that's already sort of happened, but it's right here at 296. If you can get another pullback to 296, that would be another nice hold, right? If you can get one more of these, right? If you can get one more pullback to 296, that might be a nice entry. But besides that, you're sort of eyeing that all-time high. So watch out for that 320 rejection. Look to see if it holds 296. That would be a nice hold there. FSLR monster push. I think that's all-time highs. Yeah, very big move on FSLR. Here's what you're looking for now, guys. This is the only way you can get a real entry. The only way you can get a real entry here, in my opinion, is a retest of potentially this previous all-time high here around 144. I would look for maybe a 144 retest here. Look for a pullback to that previous all-time high. Look to see if it holds its support. You got to try to get some kind of a good entry. You can't just chase this thing. So look for some kind of pullback to a retest level if you're looking to trade FSLR. There will be a pullback. You just got to be patient. JP Morgan, yeah, same thing we talked about yesterday. JP Morgan continues to hold that 124 level. That's a nice retest hold. So watch for a continuation there on that retest hold. CVX, nice push. I think this is all-time highs. So watch that 184 retest. Right? 182, 183. Previous all-time highs. Look for it to turn that previous all-time high into support. XOM, monster. XOM's gone. It's gone. I mean, if you're in it, congrats. If you're not, don't look at it because you can't buy here. You just can't. All right? You buy here, you are exposing yourself to about 7% of downside, which is still bullish. Right? This pullback is still very bullish on XOM. So if you get this pullback, that is still a very bullish pullback, and you're exposing yourself to 7% downside, and you're potentially going to stop out of a trade that is still bullish, right? So I would leave it alone. If you're in it, congrats. If you're not, it's gone. I mean, you gotta wait for something on the downside. You have to. All right, 104. All right, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft. Here's the key on Microsoft today. You got to hold 232. 232 is your key today. 232 on Microsoft has to hold. Right? This previous area here has to hold. I would say it's anywhere between 232 and 230. This whole area here cannot be lost. This has to turn into a strong demand for you to see upside. You got to get over that 20 SMA. You got to get over some of these previous rejection points. But you must hold on to this demand here. If you lose this, you're moving back lower. Silver, yeah, big push on silver, big push on commodities. I'm not very good when it comes to commodities, guys. I don't pay attention to that stuff enough. So to me, this looks like a messy chart. If there's some kind of silver macroeconomic news that came out that I'm not aware of, then you know more than me, Rob. If you're in that, I'm not. I'm not going to be the right guy to ask here, but I would just watch probably this rejection here and then that previous rejection right here, right? This previous rejection at around 19.4. But if there's something on the macro side that changed that I'm not aware of, then I could be wrong here. I don't pay attention to the commodities as much. All right, guys. I got to head over to the chat. If you guys want to come join us, it's down in the comment section or down in the description below. It says trade live with me. If you want to trade live with me every day, commentary all day. Not all day, but most of the day until 12, and then I'm in the chat. Everyone else in there very active as well. So if you want to come hang out, feel free to check it out. If you want to get technical levels for free on the futures, make sure to check that out down below. It says the chart Discord, free technicals. And once again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It's been quite a ride here in 2022. We're looking to end the year strong. So thank you guys once again. I hope you have a fantastic day. Please, please, please do not try to predict what happens on Wednesday. Please. There is not a single successful trader out there that is trying to predict what happens on Wednesday. They know it's not worth it, right? It's a gamble, guys. If you want to gamble, be my guest. You're gonna lose money, right? You're gonna lose money. You're gonna quit. You're gonna be the 90 whatever percent of traders that quit because they are gambling on earnings. They're gambling on major economic news. They have no strategy and they're just gambling. Do not trade through FOMC. If it's choppy again today, leave it alone. Tomorrow's a new day. Wednesday's a new day. Thursday's a new day. Friday's a new day. Next week's a new week. The other week after that's a new week. There's another week following that week, and another week, and another week, and another week. That there'll be better opportunities than trying to trade through FOMC and trying to trade in choppy markets. All right? Thank you guys once again. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.